now November 4th, early voting, there's only one day that you can vote on campus in the house, and that's today. Only today. So this is going to be the easiest time that you ever have voting. No rain, no lines, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. No pressures, no worry about exams, no worry about having to work extra. Today, so please, if you have not yet voted, and you're eligible to vote, go down, register if you're not registered, and you can vote. This is it. We've talked about, thank you very much for being here. We have talked about this election. We've talked about young people voting for a long, long time. Today is it. Now you have a shot. You've got 4.5 hours. This is it. We're going to now see if young people make a difference in this election. So I want to talk a little bit about, we're going to have a little fun. It's an expensive, of course. But I want to talk a little bit about what this election really means. This is a generational election. Barack Obama is the candidate of a new generation of Americans. Your generation. You have the 35 generation. This election, people have said a lot about this election, but this election reminds me the most of the 1960 election between Jack Kennedy and Richard Nixon. Jack Kennedy was the candidate of the new generation. I think even though many of you weren't old enough, you remember the very famous line in his inaugural address, "Today the torch is passed to a new generation." Well, on November 4th, or in your case, today, in about 45 minutes, the torch will be passed to a new generation. It is an extraordinary generation. You know, our generation did a lot of things, and we were very proud of those things. We had helped in the Vietnam War to stop, civil rights, human rights, women's rights. We changed America so it was a fairer place and more inclusive place. But your generation is also doing a lot of things. We used to send a million people to march on the Mall in Washington. You just sent a million emails to Congress and shut down congressional emails. It works pretty well. But the neat thing about your generation is that, and this is kind of Barack's message, is that you believe that our generation should stop fighting about the things that we can't agree with and do something about the things that we do agree on. Bring the country together. That's the message that we get. I remember my kids, who were just a little older than me, one of them just graduated from college, they're been out for about 2 years, came and said to me one time, "Dad, you're too confrontational. You have to know what it's like to be a parent of your teenage children." But I sort of saw what they meant. What I want you to do in your generation is learn from the mistakes that we made. And one mistake that we made, I think we did the right things, and we did a lot of idealistic things, and I'm going to talk about at the end of my talk. That's incredibly important. But one thing we did, and I think we would not have had Bush and Cheney in the White House if we hadn't done this, is after we really fundamentally changed America when we were young, a lot of us decided, myself included, to kind of take a little time off politics and focus on our families and our careers and so forth. I think that was great. Your family's nothing more important than your family. But I don't think you'd ever take time on politics. Now, I don't mean that we need you to be working 20 hours a week in presidential campaigns, which some of you are doing with Barack Obama, or anybody else's campaign. But politics is simply resource allocation in a democracy. Politics is what you do in your daily lives to make a community better. You know, the Republicans made a lot of fun about community organizers in their convention in St. Paul. It was one of the most disappointing things I ever saw any American do. Because community organizers are not just people who work on the streets in the south side of Chicago. Community organizers are people who go to their PTAs. Community organizers are people who coach youth soccer teams. Community organizers are people on the library board, making sure that the library works and so that we can raise a little money and have a public library system. Community organizers are the lifeblood of America. That's all I mean when I say we need to do never let politics entirely out of your life. I don't mean that you all have to run for Congress and governor, although I hope some of you will. I mean that you always have to be involved in your community and doing something. Because the price of not doing that is what we have today in the White House. Is to have is an extraordinary generation of Americans, the first multicultural generation of Americans that we've ever had. People who see themselves as America looks instead of the way that we grew up, lots of different kinds of people that we didn't really necessarily grow up with. We didn't know each other then. Now you know each other much better. So I want to talk first about just some core differences between Senator Obama and Senator McCain, and then I want to talk a little bit more about what you can bring into this country. We're in the middle of an economic crisis. This crisis was created by the policies of George Bush and John McCain. And I don't think you hire people to get you out of these problems if they're the ones that got you in the first place. They're thinking the regulation doesn't matter. The capitalism works great if people at the top get rich, but it doesn't matter about the people who are doing all the work. That doesn't make any sense. If you want capitalism to survive, and I do, then everybody has to benefit from it, not just the people that John McCain and George Bush have funding their campaigns, not just the lobbyists who are running John McCain's campaign. Every American has to benefit. They put something into the system, and you ought to be able to get the reward of that system. And that's a system that works great. Frankly, when you have Democrats running the country. The interesting thing is, and this is the truth, I'm not just saying this to be partisan, the economy is always better when Democrats run the country. And that is because we balance budgets and they don't. You know, you can't trust Republican leadership with your money. Borrow and spend, $10 trillion deficit, national deficit, that's national debt. That's unbelievable. 3/4